A princess suddenly left her home, causing great worry among the island people, who anxiously called out her name. In a quick memory, a kind mentor named Aya had given the princess permission to go, simply saying, "Let her go." Another person, Takeru, wondered why no one spoke to the princess before she left, but Miyako wasn't concerned, believing she would soon return. Aya's words about the princess discovering a new world echoed in Miyako's mind. Now, Ichiro is a frantic manga artist, racing to meet a tight deadline for his rough sketches. His sister, Machi, brought him an easy breakfast. Ichiro was completely overwhelmed. He had no assistant and a huge amount of work due in just 2 days. He tried to reassure his younger siblings with the promise of a nice dinner later. After his father died, Ichiro took on the role of head of the family, relying on the little money he earned from his manga, which didn't sell well, and the rent from his building to save up for his siblings' college education. Just when Ichiro was at his most stressed, his editor, Morikuni, called with good news. They found an assistant whose background art was pretty good, even though it was traced. Ichiro rushed to the station to meet her. He met the strikingly beautiful Shiori Goshiki, who looked very formal. She used his silly pen name, which embarrassed him, so he quickly told her to call him by his real name, Ichiro Kuga, to keep his work a secret from his siblings to protect them from being teased at school. Shiori politely introduced herself and accepted the job. Ichiro immediately took her home and gave her the work, apologizing for the rush. Seeing her fancy clothes, he offered her a borrowed shirt to protect them, which she accepted. She started working on the panel borders and backgrounds, and Ichiro was completely amazed at how fast and skilled she was. She explained that this was her first time being an assistant and that she had learned everything from an old book. Her work was incredibly quick, and Ichiro was overjoyed knowing he would definitely meet his deadline. When his younger siblings, Machi and Fumio, came home, Machi immediately asked if she was a gemstone princess, a term Shiori calmly corrected. Machi, worried about Shiori working too hard, insisted on a break for her brother. She gave Shiori a quick tour of their apartment building, showing off the shared kitchen. Later, Shiori chose to eat alone. Machi joked that Shiori must have a magical secret, but Ichiro told her to stop being weird. Ichiro was thrilled with Shiori's pro-level work, and his siblings hoped she would stay. Shiori was unusual. When Ichiro offered tea, she quickly made it herself, already knowing where everything was. When Machi suggested she stop working for the day, Shiori refused, saying she knew Ichiro was pushing himself to save money for his siblings' school and wanted to help him. Shiori finally took a brief rest, and Ichiro felt touched seeing her asleep nearby while he worked. She woke up to hand him a finished task, and he told her to stop working, but she wanted to finish just a few more borders. Ichiro was so grateful that he started asking if she would work for him regularly. To help him stay awake, Shiori talked about herself, revealing that she was almost 19 and had only started reading manga that year, having found Ichiro's work in her grandmother's collection. She praised his manga, calling the romantic problems a mysterious fever called love. Encouraged, Ichiro officially asked her to stay on as his assistant, and she happily agreed. They found that one page of the comic was completely blank, and Ichiro panicked thinking about working all night alone. But Shiori saw he was worried and asked directly, "Do you need assistance?" Knowing he had to finish to get paid, Ichiro apologized and asked her to work all night, promising extra pay. She simply agreed. They finished the comic just before dawn. Tired, Ichiro told Shiori to rest while he handled the last steps. After briefly falling asleep, Ichiro woke up to find Shiori sleeping again. He noticed a sharp, needle-like object sticking out of her back. Thinking it was dangerous, he reached out to remove it, touching her back. Suddenly, a strange energy filled the room, and Ichiro saw a vision of outer space. Shiori woke up and told him that his touch had joined their futures, like a marriage promise in her world. A shocked Ichiro explained he thought he was just trying to save her from the sharp object, which he later realized was something like a tail. Shiori said she was surprised he thought he was saving her life. She suggested it was lucky he touched her that way, since they barely knew each other. Ichiro immediately said he didn't feel lucky, just awkward. Shiori then revealed the truth. I am the princess of the Star People. She quickly added that she didn't want a marriage based on a mistake, but preferred to fall in love like in the comics. Ichiro panicked, begging her not to joke about weird rumors since he was raising young children. Shiori calmly explained that she had been tracing his manga because his art was the simplest in the magazine, and by tracing it, she saw how much time and care he put into it, which is how she came to know his true self. She finished by calling herself his fan. Ichiro was confused, but when Shiori suggested they start as friends, he weakly agreed to the strange turn of events.